In the last episode, our small band of rebels, battered and bruised, had just escaped the clutches of the ruthless enemy forces, only to receive a cryptic message from our ally that set us on a perilous quest to uncover hidden archives within the ancient Eldrid ruins. The memories of our recent ordeal still lingered like an open wound, but we couldn't afford to dwell on the past. Our mission was clear: to brave the mystical realm of Nefaria, navigate treacherous landscapes, and unlock the secrets of Aetheria's forgotten technology. As I stood in the hideout, catching my breath, I gazed at my companions, Lyrien and Elara. Their faces were etched with fatigue, but their eyes burned with a fire that matched my own determination. We have to move now, I thought, pushing aside the exhaustion. Our allies' message had been clear: the Eldrid ruins held the key to our survival, and we were the only ones who could unlock it. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility settle onto my shoulders. We had been through trials that had tested our bonds and honed our skills, but I knew that the challenges ahead would push us to our limits. Lyrian's voice cut through my thoughts. "We should get moving. We don't know how much time we have before they track us down." Elara nodded, her eyes scanning the small hideout. "We'll need to be careful. Nefaria's landscapes are treacherous, and those ruins are said to be crawling with deadly traps." I nodded, a plan already forming in my mind. "We'll take it slow. Work together. We've come too far to turn back now." With a shared nod, we set off into the unknown, the thrill of adventure and the weight of our quest propelling us forward. The air was crisp and cool as we traversed the mystical realm of Nefaria. Strange rock formations jutted out of the ground, casting long shadows in the fading light. As we journeyed deeper into the ruins, I could feel the weight of history bearing down on us. The Eldrid civilization had been a powerful one, and their technology was said to be far more advanced than anything we had today. Elara's voice was barely above a whisper. "Do you feel that, Alex?" "It's like we're being watched." I nodded, my senses on high alert. "We're not alone here." Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows. "You shouldn't have come here, Alex," the figure sneered, ancient technology humming to life in their hands. My heart racing, I stood my ground, Lyrien and Elara flanking me like sentinels. "We mean no disrespect, but we have to uncover the secrets of these ruins." The figure snarled, charging towards us with a ferocity that sent a shiver down my spine. Our skills were put to the test as we dodged and weaved, avoiding the deadly traps and fighting off the powerful foe. But with Lyrien and Elara by my side, I found the strength to overcome even the most daunting challenges. As we neared our goal, the stakes escalated, and my growth, determination, and hard-won insight were crucial in overcoming the obstacles ahead. Drawing in unexpected allies and rallying the engineers, we masterminded a daring infiltration of the heavily guarded stronghold. But just as we thought we were close to unlocking the secrets of the Eldrid ruins, a sudden explosion rocked the ground beneath our feet, sending us tumbling to the ground. As I struggled to my feet, I saw Lyrien and Elara, battered but unbroken, their eyes locked on mine. "We have to keep moving," I shouted above the din of the explosion. The sound of alarms and footsteps echoed through the corridors, growing louder with every passing moment. With a shared glance, we sprinted forward, the fate of Aethereia hanging in the balance. And then, just as we reached the entrance to the archives, a massive stone door blocked our path, adorned with ancient runes that glowed with an otherworldly energy. I raised a hand, feeling the weight of our journey bearing down on me. "This is it," I thought, my heart pounding in my chest. The moment of truth had finally arrived. I took a deep breath, and with Lyrien and Elara by my side, I pushed forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. Previously, we had just received a cryptic message from our ally, setting us on a perilous quest to uncover hidden archives within the ancient Eldrid ruins, said to hold the secrets of Aetheria's forgotten technology. As we ventured into the mystical realm of Nefaria, we encountered a powerful foe wielding ancient technology, and our skills were put to the ultimate test. With Lyrien and Elara by my side, I found the strength to overcome even the most daunting challenges, and we finally reached the entrance to the archives. As I pushed forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead, the stone door creaked open, revealing a dimly lit chamber filled with ancient artifacts and dusty relics. The air was thick with the scent of old dust and forgotten knowledge. I stepped forward, my eyes adjusting to the faint light, and was immediately struck by the sheer scale of the archives. Row upon row of ancient consoles and data storage units lined the walls, each one pulsing with a soft, ethereal glow. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I realized the significance of what we had discovered. This was it, the key to unlocking the secrets of Aetheria's forgotten technology. Lyrien and Elara moved to flank me, their eyes scanning the room for any signs of danger. I took a deep breath, trying to process the enormity of what we had achieved. We had come so far, and now we were finally on the cusp of unlocking the secrets of the Eldrid ruins. But as I began to explore the archives, I realized that we were not alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, their eyes fixed on me with an unnerving intensity. They were dressed in tattered robes, and their skin was deathly pale. "Welcome, Alex," they said, their voice barely above a whisper. "I've been expecting you. My name is Aethereia, and am the last surviving member of the Eldrid Council." I felt a jolt of surprise, but I kept my composure. "What do you want, Aethereia?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Aetheria's eyes seemed to bore into my soul. "I want to show you the truth about Aetheria's past," they said, their voice dripping with a sense of urgency. "The technology you've been searching for is not what you think it is. It's not a solution to your problems, but a warning." I exchanged a skeptical glance with Lyrien and Elara, but Aetheria's words sparked a curiosity within me. I nodded, and Aetheriia began to lead us deeper into the archives. As we walked, Aetheriia revealed to us the dark history of the Eldrid civilization. They had been a powerful and advanced people, but their technology had come at a terrible cost. It had ravaged the planet, causing widespread destruction and chaos. I felt a sense of unease growing within me. Could it be that the very technology we were searching for was the root of our problems? I pushed the thought aside, focusing on the task at hand. Aetheriia stopped in front of a large crystal console. "This is the heart of Eldrid," they said, their voice filled with reverence. "It contains the secrets of our civilization's downfall. Are you prepared to face the truth?" I steeled myself, knowing that this moment would change everything. I nodded, and Aetheriia activated the console. The room was bathed in a blinding light, and I felt a surge of energy course through my veins. When the light faded, I saw a holographic projection of the planet's history unfold before me. The images were stark and haunting. I saw the Eldrid civilization in all its glory, and then I saw its downfall. The technology that had once brought them greatness had ultimately led to their demise. I felt a sense of despair wash over me, but Lyrien and Elara's presence kept me grounded. We had come this far, and we would see this through. As the projection ended, I turned to Aetheriia. "What does this mean for us?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Aetheria's eyes seemed to hold a deep sadness. "It means that you have a choice to make, Alex. You can continue down the path of destruction, or you can forge a new path, one that balances progress with responsibility." I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of responsibility settle onto my shoulders. I knew that I had to make a decision, one that would determine the course of Aetheria's future. As I stood there, I realized that this moment was not just about me, but about the people I cared about and the future we all deserved. I looked at Lyrien and Elara, and I knew that together we could overcome any obstacle. With newfound determination, I turned to Aetheriia. "We need your help," I said. "We want to use this knowledge to forge a better future for Aethereia. Will you help us?" Aetheria's expression softened, and they nodded. "I'll help you, Alex. Together, we can create a brighter tomorrow." In that moment, I felt a sense of hope that I had not felt in a long time. We had faced countless challenges, but with Lyrien, Elara, and now Aethereia by my side, I knew that we could overcome anything. As we began to work together, I realized that our journey was far from over. We had uncovered a secret, but we had also uncovered a new challenge. The fate of Aethereia still hung in the balance, and it was up to us to ensure that the secrets of the Eldrid ruins were used for the greater good. With a newfound sense of purpose, we set off into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge that would change the course of Aethereia's history forever. But as we walked, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched and that the consequences of our actions were still unknown. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready to face it head-on, knowing that I had Lyrien, Elara, and Aethereia by my side. Previously, we had just received a cryptic message from our ally, setting us on a perilous quest to uncover hidden archives within the ancient Eldrid ruins, said to hold the secrets of Aethereia's forgotten technology. As we ventured into the mystical realm of Nefaria, we encountered a powerful foe wielding ancient technology, and our skills were put to the ultimate test. With Lyrien and Elara by my side, I found the strength to overcome even the most daunting challenges, and we finally reached the entrance to the archives. As we stepped into the dimly lit chamber, the air thick with the scent of old dust and forgotten knowledge enveloped us, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. The sheer scale of the archives took my breath away. Row upon row of ancient consoles and data storage units lined the walls, each one pulsing with a soft, ethereal glow. I began to explore the archives, but we were not alone. A figure emerged from the shadows, their eyes fixed on me with an unnerving intensity. They introduced themselves as Aethereia, the last surviving member of the Eldrid Council. Aethereia revealed to us the dark history of the Eldrid civilization and the secrets of their downfall. The technology that had once brought them greatness had ultimately led to their demise. I felt a sense of despair wash over me, but Lyrien and Elara's presence kept me grounded. We had come this far, and we would see this through. But just as we thought we had finally found the answers we were looking for, a loud alarm pierced the air, and the room began to shake. The lights flickered, and the consoles started to beep erratically. Aetheria's eyes widened in alarm. "It's too late," they whispered. "The self-destruct sequence has been activated. We have to get out of here, now!" I felt a surge of panic. We had to act fast, or risk being trapped forever in the ruins. I turned to Lyrien and Elara, and we quickly sprang into action. We grabbed as much data as we could and made a mad dash for the exit. As we ran, the room shook and trembled around us. The air was thick with the smell of smoke and ozone. I could hear the sound of collapsing debris and crumbling stone. We finally reached the entrance, but it was blocked by a massive stone door that was slowly closing. I knew we had to think fast, or we would be crushed. Without hesitation, Lyrien sprang into action. They used their agility and quick thinking to find a weak point in the door's mechanism. Elara and I provided cover, using our skills to fend off the rubble and debris that was starting to fall. With seconds to spare, Lyrien managed to disable the door's mechanism, and we pushed it open just in time. We tumbled out into the fresh air, gasping for breath. As we looked back, the Eldrid ruins began to collapse, sending a massive cloud of dust and debris into the air. I turned to Aethereia, who was standing beside us, their eyes filled with a deep sadness. "What have we just done?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Aetheria's expression was somber. "You've saved the future, Alex. The knowledge we uncovered will help you prevent the same mistakes that led to our downfall. But there's still much work to be done. The secrets of the Eldrid ruins are just the beginning." As we stood there, catching our breath and trying to process what had just happened, I realized that our journey was far from over. We had uncovered a secret, but we had also uncovered a new challenge. The fate of Aethereia still hung in the balance, and it was up to us to ensure that the secrets of the Eldrid ruins were used for the greater good. With a newfound sense of purpose, we set off into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, armed with the knowledge that would change the course of Aetheria's history forever. But as we walked, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched and that the consequences of our actions were still unknown. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready to face it head-on, knowing that I had Lyrien, Elara, and Archaea by my side. Together, we would forge a new path, one that would bring hope and prosperity to Aethereia. As we walked, Archaea began to tell us more about the Eldrid Council and their role in the downfall of the civilization. I listened intently, eager to learn more about the secrets we had uncovered. But just as Archaea was about to reveal more, a figure emerged from the shadows. They were dressed in dark robes, and their eyes seemed to burn with an inner fire. "Archaea," they said, their voice dripping with malice, "I see you found the young one, but do you think you can trust him?" Archaea's eyes narrowed. "Kael, what are you doing here?" Kael's smile was cold and calculating. "I've come to claim the secrets of the Eldrid ruins for myself, and I won't let anyone stand in my way." I felt a surge of adrenaline. We had just gained a new ally, but it seemed we had also gained a powerful enemy. The stakes had just escalated, and I knew that our journey was about to get a lot more complicated. But I was ready. I had Lyrien, Elara, and Archaea by my side, and together we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. We would not back down, and we would not be intimidated. We would forge a new path, one that would bring hope and prosperity to Aethereia, no matter the cost. The battle ahead would be fierce, but I was ready. I had grown, I had learned, and I had found my purpose. I was no longer the same person who had stumbled into this journey. I was now a leader, a hero, and a guardian of Aetheria's future. And with that realization, I led my team forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the skills, and the determination to succeed. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face the challenges, to overcome the obstacles, and to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. Previously, we had narrowly escaped the collapsing Eldrid ruins, saving the valuable knowledge contained within from being lost forever. As we caught our breath outside the ruins, Archaea, the last surviving member of the Eldrid Council, revealed to us that our actions had potentially saved Aethereia's future. However, our relief was short-lived as a mysterious figure, Kael, emerged from the shadows, threatening to claim the secrets of the Eldrid ruins for himself. As Kael's cold gaze settled on me, I felt a shiver run down my spine. His eyes seemed to bore into my very soul, and I could sense the darkness emanating from him. Archaea stepped forward, their eyes flashing with defiance. "Kael, you have no claim to the secrets of the Eldrid ruins. You were part of the council, and you know the damage that your actions caused." Kael's smile grew wider. "Ah, Archaea, always so quick to judge, but I have changed. I have seen the error of my ways, and I seek to make amends. I want to help you, Alex, and your friends. I want to help you unlock the true potential of the Eldrid technology." I hesitated, unsure of what to make of Kael's sudden change of heart. Lyrien and Elara exchanged a wary glance, their eyes clearly reflecting their skepticism. Archaea's expression remained guarded, but they seemed to be considering Kael's words. "I don't think that's a good idea, Kael," Archaea said finally. "You have done nothing to earn our trust. What makes you think we would even consider working with you?" Kael's eyes narrowed, and for a moment I thought I saw a flicker of anger. But then his expression smoothed out, and he smiled again. "I have something to show you," he said, pulling out a small, intricately carved box from his robes. "This was left to me by one of my associates. It's a gift, one that I think will prove my sincerity." Archaea's eyes widened as Kael opened the box, revealing a small, crystalline orb. The orb pulsed with a soft blue light, and I could sense a strange energy emanating from it. "This is a Kyrium orb," Archaea breathed. "It's a piece of Eldrid technology, one that could potentially amplify our efforts to restore Aethereia." I felt a surge of excitement. The Curium Orb could be the key to unlocking the secrets of the Eldrid technology and potentially turning the tide in our favor. But I also sensed that there was more to the orb than met the eye. "What do you want in return, KL?" I asked, trying to keep my tone neutral. KL's smile grew wider. "Oh, I think we can come to a mutually beneficial arrangement, Alex. I want to help you master the Eldrid technology, and in return I expect your assistance in dealing with a certain threat to Aethereia's future." I exchanged a glance with Lyrien and Elara. We had just escaped one danger, and now we were being presented with another, but I also sensed that Kale's proposal could be an opportunity, one that could help us overcome the challenges ahead. "What threat?" I asked, my curiosity piqued. Kale's eyes seemed to gleam with intensity. "A dark force is rising in Aethereia, one that seeks to exploit the power vacuum left by the Eldrid downfall. I have reason to believe that they are seeking to claim the Eldrid technology for themselves and use it to conquer Aethereia. I need your help to stop them." I felt a shiver run down my spine. A dark force seeking to conquer Aethereia? It sounded like a nightmare scenario, but I also sensed that Kale was telling the truth and that this could be a chance for us to make a real difference. "Listen," I said finally, looking at Lyrien and Elara, "but I need to know more about this dark force and what we're up against." Kale's smile grew wider. "Ah, Alex, I knew you would see things my way. Let us walk, and I will tell you everything I know." As we set off, I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were walking into a trap. But I also sensed that this could be a chance for us to forge a new path, one that would bring hope and prosperity to Aethereia. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was ready. I had Lyrien, Elara, Archaea, and now Kale by my side, and together we would face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we walked, Kale began to tell us more about the Dark Force and the threat they posed to Aethereia. I listened intently, my mind racing with questions and concerns. But I also sensed that we had a chance to make a real difference, to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the landscape. We walked in silence for a moment, the only sound being the crunch of gravel beneath our feet. But I knew that this silence was temporary and that soon we would be facing a new challenge, one that would test our skills, our courage, and our resolve. I took a deep breath, feeling a sense of determination rising within me. We had come this far, and we would see this through. We would face whatever challenges lay ahead, and we would emerge victorious. The fate of Aethereia depended on it. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, I knew that we were just getting started. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face the challenges, to overcome the obstacles, and to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. And with that realization, I led my team forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead, armed with the knowledge, the skills, and the determination to succeed. Previously, Archaea, the last surviving member of the Eldrid Council, had revealed that our actions had potentially saved Aethereia's future, but our relief was short-lived, as KL, a mysterious figure, emerged with a cryptic offer to help us unlock the secrets of the Eldrid technology in exchange for our assistance in dealing with a dark force rising in Aethereia. KL had presented us with a Curium Orb, a piece of Eldrid technology that could amplify our efforts to restore Aethereia, and proposed a mutually beneficial arrangement. As we walked with KL, he began to reveal more about the Dark Force and the threat they posed to Aethereia. As we journeyed deeper into the mystical realm of Nefaria, the air grew thick with an eerie, pulsating energy. KL led us through a winding path, the terrain shifting from rocky outcroppings to dense, mist-shrouded forests. I could feel the weight of the Curium Orb in my pocket, its power coursing through me like a spark of electricity. Lyrien and Elara walked on either side of me, their faces set with determination. We had come this far, and we would see this through. "So, Kale," I said, breaking the silence, "tell us more about this dark force. What are we up against?" Kale's eyes seemed to cloud over, and his voice took on a grave tone. "The Dark Force is a collective of rogue mages and technologists who seek to exploit the power vacuum left by the Eldrid downfall. They are led by a charismatic leader, a woman named Lyra, who possesses abilities that rival those of the Eldrid. She seeks to harness the Eldrid technology to bend Aethereia to her will." I felt a shiver run down my spine. A charismatic leader with abilities rivaling those of the Eldrid? It sounded like a formidable foe. "What makes you think we can stop her?" Lyrien asked, his voice laced with skepticism. Kale's smile grew wider. "Because, my friends, I have knowledge of Lyra's plans. I have infiltrated her inner circle, and I know that she seeks to claim the Eldrid technology for herself. But I also know that she has weaknesses, vulnerabilities that we can exploit. With the Kyrium Orb and your unique skills, I believe we can stop her before it's too late." As we walked, the mist grew thicker until we found ourselves standing at the edge of a vast, fog-shrouded lake. The water stretched out before us, its surface adorned with strange, glowing symbols. Kale gestured to a small boat waiting by the shore. "We will need to cross the lake to reach Lyra's stronghold," he said. "But be warned, the lake is treacherous, and the symbols on its surface are not just decorative. They are a test, one that will require all your skills and cunning to navigate." I looked at Lyrien and Elara and saw the determination in their eyes. We had come this far, and we would not back down now. I nodded, and we climbed into the boat, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As we pushed off from the shore, the boat glided across the lake, the symbols on its surface beginning to glow brighter. I could feel the energy of the Kyrium Orb resonating with the symbols, and I sensed that we were being tested, our abilities and our resolve being pushed to the limit. Suddenly, the boat lurched to a stop, and we found ourselves surrounded by a group of ghostly apparitions. They were the spirits of those who had failed the test, their faces twisted in a mixture of anger and despair. "You will not pass," one of the spirits hissed, its voice like a cold wind. "You will not reach Lyra's stronghold." I stood tall, the Kyrium Orb pulsing with energy in my pocket. "We will not be deterred," I said, my voice firm. "We will face whatever challenges lie ahead, and we will stop Lyra, no matter what it takes." The spirits snarled, their faces contorted in rage. But I could sense a glimmer of hope, a spark of redemption that could free them from their torment. I reached out with my mind, connecting with the spirits, and slowly but surely they began to fade away, their anger and despair dissipating like mist in the sun. As the spirits disappeared, the boat continued on its journey, the symbols on the lake's surface glowing brighter. We were getting close, I could sense it. And I knew that when we reached Lyra's stronghold, we would face our greatest challenge yet. But I was ready. I had Lyrien, Elara, and Kale by my side, and together we would face whatever lay ahead. We would stop Lyra, and we would save Aethereia. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but I was determined to succeed. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, we reached the far shore, and I could see the outline of Lyra's stronghold in the distance. It was a massive structure, its walls towering above the landscape like a monolith. I could feel the dark energy emanating from it, a palpable force that seemed to be drawing us in. I took a deep breath, my heart pounding with anticipation. We had come this far, and we would see this through. We would face Lyra, and we would emerge victorious. The fate of Aethereia depended on it. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my team forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. We would navigate the treacherous paths of Lyra's stronghold, and we would stop her no matter what it took. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face the challenges, to overcome the obstacles, and to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. And with that realization, I led my team forward, into the heart of the stronghold and into the unknown. As we approached the entrance, I could feel the air grow thick with tension. The stronghold loomed above us, its walls seeming to press down on us like a physical force. I steeled myself, my hand on the hilt of my sword. We were in this together, and we would see it through. "Let's do this," I said, my voice low and steady. Lyrien and Elara nodded, their faces set with determination. Kael smiled, his eyes glinting with a fierce light. "Then let us begin," he said. And with that, we stepped forward, into the heart of the stronghold, ready to face whatever lay ahead. The darkness closed in around us, and I could feel the weight of the curium orb pulsing with energy. We were getting close, I could sense it. And I knew that when we finally faced Lyra, we would be ready. The team moved stealthily through the corridors of the stronghold, trying to avoid detection. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, my senses on high alert. We were in enemy territory, and we had to be careful. As we turned a corner, I caught sight of a group of Lyris minions. They were heavily armed, and their eyes seemed to gleam with a malevolent light. "Take cover," I whispered, my hand on the hilt of my sword. Lyrien and Elara moved to either side of me, their eyes fixed on the minions. Kael stood tall, his eyes flashing with energy. "We will need to take them down quietly," I said, my voice low. "We can't afford to alert the rest of the stronghold." Lyrien nodded, his hand on his bow. Elara drew her dagger, her eyes fixed on the minions. I took a deep breath, my senses on high alert. We would take down the minions, and we would keep moving. We would stop Lyra no matter what it took. The battle was intense, the sound of clashing steel and the scent of sweat filling the air. But we worked together, our movements fluid and coordinated. Lyrien took down 2 of the minions with his bow, while Elara and Kael took down another. I faced off against the last minion, my sword flashing in the dim light. In the end, it was just the 2 of us, locked in a fierce battle. But I was determined to emerge victorious. With a swift stroke, I took down the minion, and we caught our breath. "Let's keep moving," I said, my voice low. We moved stealthily through the corridors, trying to avoid detection. But I could feel the air growing thick with tension. We were getting close. I could sense it. And then we heard the sound of Lyra's voice echoing through the corridors. "Welcome, Alex," she said, her voice dripping with malice. "I've been expecting you." I steeled myself, my hand on the hilt of my sword. We had come this far, and we would see this through. We would face Lyra, and we would emerge victorious. The fate of Aethereia depended on it. With a newfound sense of purpose, I led my team forward, ready to face whatever lay ahead. We would stop Lyra, and we would save Aethereia. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face the challenges, to overcome the obstacles, and to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. And with that realization, I led my team forward into the heart of the stronghold and into the unknown. Previously, we had just faced off against Lyra's minions and emerged victorious. But our relief was short-lived as Lyra's voice echoed through the corridors, her malevolent presence washing over us like a dark wave. The air seemed to vibrate with tension as we steeled ourselves for the final confrontation, the weight of the Kyrium orb pulsing with energy in my pocket. Lyra's words dripped with malice, her eyes fixed on me with an unnerving intensity. As we turned a corner, Lyra herself came into view, her eyes flashing with dark energy. She was a tall, statuesque woman with long, flowing hair and a white dress that seemed to shimmer and glow in the dim light. But it was her eyes that caught my attention, eyes that burned with an inner fire, a fire that seemed to fuel her very being. "Welcome, Alex," she repeated, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "I've been expecting you. You're just in time to witness the beginning of my plan to reclaim Aethereia." I stood tall, my hand on the hilt of my sword. "We're not going to let that happen," I said, my voice firm. Lyra laughed, the sound sending shivers down my spine. "Oh, but you will," she said. "You see, I have something that you want, the secrets of the Eldrid technology, and am willing to do whatever it takes to keep it for myself." I took a step forward, my eyes locked on Lyra's. "We're not going to back down," I said. "We're going to stop you no matter what it takes." Lyra's smile grew wider. "I'm afraid you're too late for that," she said. "The process has already begun. The technology is already being activated, and there's nothing you can do to stop it." As she spoke, the air around us began to distort and ripple, as if reality itself was bending and warping. I could feel the energy of the Eldrid technology surging through the air, a power that seemed to be building to a crescendo. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, a young woman with short, spiky hair and a look of determination on her face. She was dressed in a black jumpsuit and a pair of goggles perched on her forehead. "Lyra, you're not going to get away with this," she said, her voice firm. "I've been tracking you for weeks, and I'm not going to let you activate the technology." Lyra's eyes narrowed. "Ah, Astra," she said, "I should have known you'd show up eventually, but you're too late. The process is already in motion." Astra pulled out a small device from her pocket and activated it. The device emitted a high-pitched whine, and the air around us seemed to shimmer and distort. "What is that?" Lyrien asked, his eyes fixed on the device. "It's a disruptor," Astra said. "It can interfere with the technology's energy signature, giving us a window to shut it down." I nodded, a plan forming in my mind. "Let's move," I said. "We need to stop the technology before it's too late." With Astra's help, we launched a fierce attack on Lyra and her minions. The battle was intense, the sound of clashing steel and the scent of sweat filling the air. But we worked together, our movements fluid and coordinated. Lyrien took down several of Lyra's minions with his bow, while Elara and Kael took down another. Astra used her disruptor to interfere with the technology's energy signature, giving us a window to shut it down. I faced off against Lyra, my sword flashing in the dim light. In the end, it was just the two of us, locked in a fierce battle. But I was determined to emerge victorious. With a swift stroke, I took down Lyra, and we caught our breath. As we stood victorious, Astra turned to us with a smile. "Thanks for your help back there," she said. "I've been tracking Lyra for weeks, and am glad we were able to stop her." I nodded, feeling a sense of camaraderie with Astra. "No problem," I said. "We're all in this together." But as we turned to leave, I caught sight of something that made my heart sink. The technology was still active, its energy signature pulsing with power. "We need to shut it down," I said, my voice urgent. "Now." Astra nodded, her eyes fixed on the technology. "I can try to hack into the system," she said, "but it'll need some time." I nodded, my mind racing. We didn't have much time. The technology could activate at any moment, unleashing a power that could destroy Aethereia. As Astra worked to hack into the system, I couldn't help but feel a sense of hope. We had come so far, and we had overcome so many obstacles. I knew that we could do this. With a newfound sense of determination, I stood by Astra's side, ready to face whatever lay ahead. We would shut down the technology, and we would save Aethereia. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. I was ready to face the challenges, to overcome the obstacles, and to forge a brighter future for Aethereia. And then, just as Astra was about to succeed, a massive explosion rocked the stronghold, sending us tumbling to the ground. I could feel the air being knocked out of my lungs, and my ears rang with the sound of the blast. As I struggled to my feet, I saw that Astra was lying on the ground, her device destroyed. The technology was still active, its energy signature pulsing with power. I knew that we had to act fast. The technology could activate at any moment, unleashing a power that could destroy Aethereia. With a newfound sense of urgency, I turned to Lyrien and Elara. "We need to shut it down," I said, my voice firm. "Now!" Lyrien nodded, his eyes fixed on the technology. "I'll try to disable it," he said. "But I need your help." I nodded, my mind racing. We didn't have much time. The technology could activate at any moment. As Lyrien worked to disable the technology, I stood by his side, ready to face whatever lay ahead. We would shut it down, and we would save Aethereia. The journey ahead would be long and difficult, but I was ready. And then, just as Lyrien was about to succeed, a figure emerged from the shadows, a figure that made my heart sink. It was Archaea, the last surviving member of the Eldrid Council. But something was wrong. Her eyes seemed different. Her presence seemed dark. "Archaea?" I said, my voice uncertain. "What's going on?" Archaea's eyes locked on mine, and I could see a cold calculation there. "I'm afraid I'm not here to help you, Alex," she said, her voice dripping with malice. "I'm here to ensure that the technology is activated, and nothing is going to stop me." I felt a chill run down my spine. Archaea, the person we had trusted, was now working against us. I knew that we had to act fast. The technology could activate at any moment, unleashing a power that could destroy Aethereia. With a newfound sense of determination, I steeled myself for the final confrontation. We would stop Archaea, and we would shut down the technology. The fate of Aethereia depended on it.